check 1 2 1 2.
Yeah,
Can you hear?
your microphone good. Your microphone good.
Okay, because it said on my
Um,
phone that it was deactivated. Anyway, what's up? What's up, my party people? Anyway, happy Sunday. Um, Welcome to the chat. If you guys have been watching my IG live again, underscore DAISHA.MB, then you would know that we are going to continue this topic. All right. Real quick, I'm gonna let what's up, Gracie? Thanks for coming in. I'm gonna let Soap kind of give his intros, and then I'll give the question. We'll go from there. Go ahead, Soap.
yes,
Or
I'm here.
not.
Give me one second. Hold on. I was sending a message out to somebody business wise, but man, number one, thank everybody for I just want to thank everybody, man, for just checking in, man. The well wishes, the love. Unfortunately, yes, I've gone through another family loss over the weekend. But thank y'all for just being supportive throughout the break. And thank y'all for supporting the clips, man, and all the shorts and all the video clips, man, sharing your opinions. Like, yo, I love it. Like, continue to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely be more. I mean, I will respond to every comment as much as I can. Okay, so bear with me. If I don't give you like complete detail, you know what I'm saying, on your comment, please don't think that I'm shading you. I'm avoiding you because I'm not. I just got a lot going on, and I'm on break. So, and I got family stuff going on. So please just be patient, bear with me. But I'm here, family. I'm here. And if you reach out to me, if you send a message, a DM, if you put a comment, within a short or a chat or a video or live or what I mean, whatever, I definitely will acknowledge you. And definitely we can always, if you schedule some time, we can definitely talk. Either we can talk, offline, and either work things out or whatever the case may be. But number one, we'll take a quick pause for the pause. Pause for the cause, right? As we know, the link is in every chat. All right, including our chat across the network. All right. Salute to Embrace the Grace. Say good afternoon. Salute to the panel in chat. Salute to you, Grace. You know what I mean? You know how we do. You know how we do. Let me get my great music in from the phenomenal homie, our music curator Von Eric. Hold on, let me throw on this music real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find it. Go with this one. This, all right, let me turn it down.
I
Turn
don't
it
like
down.
that
Turn
one.
it down.
I don't like that one. I don't like. I need
I
something with a little bit of bass in it. Something. I got energy today.
got you.
I rock with it. Okay. So today's topic, and Gracie, I know you're gonna like it. Are you ready? Topic is a modest woman or man. We'll just say modest person. I keep doing that, but for now, modest woman versus a good woman or person versus um. Wait, hold on. Modest versus good versus modern person. Okay. What is the difference between a modest person, a modern person, and a good person? Okay. So, I would like to hear Soap's thoughts. What's up, Knowledge? I want to hear Soap's thoughts first. You guys have the link in the chat. And hop on up. Again, what's the difference between a modest, modern, and good person / woman? And
Okay.
then eventually we're going to go into which one would you prefer to date? So,
Yeah. Okay.
for now, let's start off with the differences. So what do you think?
Number one, salute to the homie M3. M3, I see you in the building. Salute, salute. You know what I mean? Um, man, I would say this. I think when it comes to anything, when it comes to anything to do with morality, a lot of times, most of the time, it's based off of um, mostly religious principles, right? So religious principles are principles that people set up from their religious standpoint or from like, their cultural standpoint. So it's either from a religious or cultural standpoint that we are basing our morals and values on about what we believe about modesty and integrity and boundaries and things of that nature, right? Or what's acceptable or not acceptable. So it usually comes from that basis. So if we're coming from that basis, right? And that's what the basis we're coming from. Which is most time that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? That can kind of waver depending on what you believe in and what you don't believe in, right? So if you come from one society, right, who kind of believes in, let's say, they believe in arranged marriages, right, and they don't believe in women, showing their faces or whatever, right, and the men actually pick the women, right. You being modest or you being a good woman means that you have to follow, what I mean, the statutes and laws based on that society, right. So if that society says that you cover your face, that you don't show your body to nobody but your husband, right? In order for you to be a modest, a good woman, that's what you have to do, right? Now, if we dealing with something based on American society, that can be a litany of things because we live in a melting pot, right? So that could be a number of things. You know what I mean? It's not just one thing. You know what I mean? So and that could be definitely based on in America we give freedom to how we all individually feel. In other cultures, other places and spaces, there ain't none of that, right? If you live in Nigeria or if you live in wherever else in Middle Eastern society, you know what I mean? They dictate to you culturally and religiously and whatever else what you're supposed to do. Whether you're a man or a woman, right? There's certain things you can and cannot do, or else you're gonna suffer either your life being lost or you being shamed, right? We know that for a fact. That's just a part of their society. But if you're dealing with here in America, it's the land of the free, baby. You know what I mean? So if you feel like you being modest is you having, you know, you being asexual and you not and you kind of loving on yourself and that's what you believe modesty is, then nobody can really tell you that you're wrong. You know what I mean? If you believe that you being modest is waiting until marriage, nobody can tell you that you're wrong. If you believe modesty is you having five or six, partners, whether and you being intimate with them on different levels, nobody can tell you that you're wrong, right? Because that's the society that we live in right now, right? The only time things are wrong is if you are assaulting somebody, right? You're raping somebody, or you're taking advantage of children. That's the only lines that we don't allow people to cross. Rather than that, right? You could literally do what you want, right? You could have a boyfriend and a girlfriend, right? You could have three girlfriends and a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? You could have a wife and somebody else that thinks that she's a wife. You know what I mean? Like you can have a litany of things. You can have a husband and a boyfriend number two. You could do whatever you want, right? This is the society that we live in. You know what I mean? But in that society, right, certain parties or certain people of certain religious aspects or certain cultural aspects, yes, they're going to have their say. They're going to have their opinion of what they believe is not right, based on what they believe as far as their God or their culture or whatever else, right? But in America, you can do whatever you want, baby. You know what I mean? That morality line is very gray. Matter of fact, it ain't even gray. It's colorful. It's beyond gray. You know what I'm saying? And salute to Tika. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I
can
was
you
gonna
not be
say
all
I
three at
want you
once?
to add that too. I wanted you to answer that too. I was just waiting for you to
Can you
pause.
not be all three at once? I mean, yeah, I mean, and I think people are multifaceted, no matter where they live. So I think we all are multifaceted in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want to believe it or not, or whether other cultures want to believe it or not, human beings are multifaceted. You know what I mean? But in America, we're definitely multifaceted. You know what I'm saying? And diversity is a big term that's more accepted in society now than it's ever been. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and that's just the society that we live in right now. So, you know what I mean? Do I think it's a good or a bad thing? I think it's a good thing because now we get to see people who how they really are, right? So now I get to see what you really believe in, how you really feel, what you really want to do, who you really want to be with as far as like relationships or what you think about relationships. Like now we get to see all that. But even in that, right, I still want to stress this part. Whatever you believe or whatever you subscribe to, whether it's religion or culture or whatever else, right? That It's your preference and it's your business. Can't nobody tell you that you can't, like a guy, like a girl, whatever. Nobody can tell you what you're doing is right or wrong. Nobody can tell you that. That's really your business, right? And if you believe in a deity or whatever else, then you have to figure out, where you stand with that, right? And you got to wrestle with that. I can't answer that for you. I'm not God or any other deity that people will subscribe to. That's not my role. I'm a human being, right?
Okay.
So, and she said, "What is a modern woman?" I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, these terms that people throw around out here, whether it's I would say whether it's the manosphere or whatever sphere or whatever else, or just people having conversations, they elementary to me. Like a modern woman is somebody who lives in this era right now. You know what I mean? If she's alive right now, then she's a modern woman. You know what I'm saying? She's living in modern times. She's living in the now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But
Modern means that you're living in the now. If you live
right.
in, I'm gonna land real quick. If you're living in the now, then that means that what I'm saying, you're part of modern society. You could be an elder in modern society. You could be middle age. You could be a youngin. You know what I mean? So I think people try to stretch the term and try to make it seem like a modern woman is this loose, vile woman who sleeps around with a bunch of people. Nah, that's not what it is. You know what I mean? Modern woman means that she lives in society right now, and her age range could be from 0 to elder. But go ahead, Deja.
So, you personally, though, you personally, who would you prefer to date and why?
As far as what?
The modern versus, or we'll take out modern, fine. The conservative, modest. Jesus, I couldn't get it out. The modest or the good? The good girl. I mean, the good woman, or the modest woman.
You said a good person or a modest woman? Well,
No,
well,
no,
well.
no.
If you,
A good woman versus a modest woman. What is the difference?
I mean, they're kind of like the same thing. To be honest with you, like, you know what I mean? Like, because if you're being modest, or if you're trying to basically seek and do the right things as far as living a certain way, and basically, being about a certain thing in order to make your life better, or in order to basically present yourself in a positive way, then yeah, I mean that's something that's good. I wouldn't say that's something that's negative, right? The only time it becomes a problem is that when you try to hold everybody else to that standard. Like, nah, that's your standard. Like, if you want to wait to marriage, that's your standard. If you don't want to wait to marriage, that's your standard. You know what I mean? And that's when it becomes a battleground for people, because people are trying to force people to be something that they're not. You know what I mean? And that's really where we have that clash of ideals and perspectives. You know what I mean? I may be a Christian, but I may be a Christian who's Catholic. I'm not a Baptist. I'm gonna speak to my parishioner. You know what I mean? I'm gonna speak to them about my sins. We both are gonna do communion, right? But my whole ideals and perspective is different. I believe I got to speak to the Pope or a clergyman in order for my sins to be forgiven. A Baptist person don't feel that way. They feel completely different. You know what I mean? They practice completely different. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing when it comes to relationships. We're gonna practice relationships differently. You know what I'm saying? So now, if you ask me, would I want to be with somebody who's more conservative as far as what they believe in, or somebody who's more open minded? I'll prefer a mix of both. I want you to be, you know what I mean, 'cause certain things,
Hold on.
but
You
I
cut out.
also,
Say that again. You cut out. Say that again.
my bad. I was saying I want a person to be conservative with certain things, right? That we discuss together and that we agree upon, and then I want them to be modest in certain things. You know what I mean? Or, I mean, open minded. My bad. I want them to be open minded about certain things, about certain cultures or ways of thinking and things of that nature, right? But that's me, right? That's what I prefer. I want to blend the both. I want the best of both worlds, and no pun intended. Um, so Tika says, yes, so I believe that we are all modern people, and some of us carry traditional ways and beliefs. Exactly. Salute to Raldo.
What's up? What's
You know
up,
what I mean?
Raldo?
I spoke a bit about this last night on Smitty's Live. Okay, okay. That's what's up.
What
Salute to
did you
Smitty.
say? What did you say? Hop on. What did you say?
Also
Balance, yes.
salute to Twin. Good to see you. And then Rado says, okay.
Have the mixture. So I prefer a good mixture. I do want someone who can get a little, but at the same time, you don't gotta flirt with everybody, my guy. And modern, I would say, is trend rather than a person in the physical present tense. Like, what is trending? Would you like? So right now, what's trending is, the independent woman, right? The independent woman. So, I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to go here soon. I have to run an errand, but um, it's the independent woman. So, would you consider that person?
You sound like an independent woman?
So what I'm trying to say is, okay, hold on. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, I would consider a modern woman someone who is following the trend of the times. So a modern woman in the 50s was following the trend of being a housewife and doing this and doing that and doing that. The women nowadays, I feel like, are focused on being more independent and less trusting of men. And so it's kind of like, that's my version of a modern woman. Um, I feel like a good woman is someone who has, or a good woman, a good person, I keep saying woman, but person, um, has the caring, empathetic, nurturing, ambitious, all that part of them. But then I also feel like they have a little spice to them. And then modesty, sometimes it can be in the way you carry yourself, the way you dress. But there are times where people might be modest on the outside, but they're really a modern woman on the inside. So sometimes you can't trust that. So I almost feel like a good person is the only one you can really trust. I would think a good person. Does that make sense?
No, I mean it definitely does. I think because I think what you're ultimately saying is that like Rado was saying, what I mean, somebody that has a balance, right? Okay, so ultimately yes, but also understanding that balance is also how you present yourself. So if you're presenting yourself in one way, right? If you're presenting yourself, if you saying yo, what I mean, I'm outside, I'm for the streets, right? Okay, you outside, you for the streets. Cool. We accept you for who you are, right? You have let us know where you stand. Know what I mean? And we're not mad about that. Know what I mean? But now, don't come on here now trying to say, right, that you're trying to do, certain things as far as being a decent, Christian or being a decent Muslim. Nah, it don't go that way. Like what you put out there is who you are. You know what I mean? And people are going to basically hold you to that. You know what I mean? Because that's what you're putting out there. Now, if you're not putting certain things out there, then of course they're not going to view you a certain way. You know what I mean? Because you're not putting certain things out there. You know what I mean? So if I never presented to you that I love sports, and every time you talk about sports, I'm like I don't really care about can we change the topic? You know what I mean? Or what I mean? That ain't really my cup of tea, right? But yet every day you see me and I'm watching sports, or I'm actually sharing about sports on my on my Instagram. You're like, yo, why are you acting like you don't like sports when everything you talk about is about sports? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where people get confused. Because if you present yourself one way, people are going to basically put you in that box. They're gonna slot you in that box of what you present yourself as, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So and then from there, people gonna have opinions and thoughts and all types of stuff after that. You know what I mean? Is it right all the time? No. Should people always do that? No. Is it gonna happen? Yeah. Know what I mean, because we all do it. All of us do it, including myself. You know what I mean? And sometimes we got to catch ourselves because we're coming at somebody or we're judging them, in the wrong way, or we judging them harshly. But yeah, everybody's gonna judge people. Trust me, that's gonna happen. There's no way of dodging that.
I feel that. I just feel like there's always misconception about modest versus a good person. And I say that because if it's almost like we accept the good person, but if the person after a while but if the person shows that they're not quote unquote modest, all of a sudden they're considered like whores and all this other stuff. But they're good people. Like they're good like women, they're good all that. So that's why I'm wondering who would you prefer? And if you do just get a modern, or not a modern, but a good person, settle.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't.
No, but okay, but we have to go by definition of what things are, right? So if I am, if I'm messing with a woman who's not my spouse, right? And I'm messing with her and I'm willing to mess with her, then yes, you know what I mean. I'm an adulteress, so yes, I am a whore by definition. You know what I mean? Does that have to be completely who I am all the time? No, but by definition, that's who I am. By definition, you know what I mean?
What
Does
is
it have to
the
be who I am
definition of a whore?
completely? No, but by definition, that's the behavior I'm interacting in.
What is the definition?
Hold on, you kind of broke up. Go ahead, family.
What's the definition of a whore?
Someone who sleeps with somebody who's not their spouse or significant other. That's the definition of a whore. You know what I mean? Just based on
Are you
definition. Do I
talking
do I do I do I agree completely with the definition? Not completely. You know what I'm saying? But that's the definition.
so would you say so as soon as you fornicate, even if you were not married or not in a relationship, even if it was just one person or two people, you would be considered a whore?
By definition, yes.
Interesting. So you're a whore.
By definition, that's what people are gonna consider you. I mean,
Interesting.
that's why you think they have the she belongs to the streets and all that saying and all that? That's where all that comes from. You know what I mean?
Even if, but that's the thing. I feel like even if you have just like one person, really, you're a whore. I lose
Yeah.
my virginity. Now I'm a whore.
By definition, yeah. If that's not your spouse or
Let
significant
me
other,
look
yeah.
up the definition of a whore. Let me look it up. Actually,
That's the definition now. But like I said, I don't completely agree with it. And I do believe that we need to change the definition of certain things. But by definition, that's what people call it. You know what I mean? But me being me and me being controversial, or just me just challenging things. I don't believe that every definition that we given is accurate. You know what I mean? So that's me though. You know what I mean?
okay. First off, the definition of a whore is a person who engages in sexual intercourse for pay, a promiscuous or immoral woman, greedy manner usually for money, a woman who is thought to have a lot of sexual partners. Yeah, mostly someone who has sex for money and has multiple partners. So if you're saying that as soon as you, so basically you're saying that there's fornication and that's considered a whore. No, it's about multiple partners, but it's about how many partners would you consider a whore?
But if you fornicate, it's considered whorish behavior. You know what I mean?
I don't think so.
Like I
I
said,
think it's considered
I
a
don't.
lack of self control, but I don't think it's whorish behavior.
But like I said, I don't completely agree with the definition either. So I'm right with you. You know what I mean? I don't completely
Interesting.
agree with the definition either. But if you're gonna go based on the definition, right? Because the definition really derives from more of a biblical aspect, right? Or I guess a Muslim aspect or whatever, right? So if cause that's where morality comes from. It comes from religious or cultural principles, right? So if we going based on that, then yeah, you know what I mean. If you fornicate with somebody and they're not your spouse, you are basically indulging in whorish behavior. That's just what it is by definition.
Interesting. Interesting. So, in a sense, and I'll wrap this up. I know this was a short one, but I do have to go here in a second. Um, so, in a sense, you feel like a modern woman is basically someone of modern times. I believe that it's more so someone in a trend. You believe that a modest woman is someone who really carries themselves um, a specific way, but a good person can be considered a whore. Um, is that correct?
Okay, ask that one more time.
So, what I got from this conversation is that I feel like a modern woman is someone who keeps up with trend more so.
Mm.
I feel like a good woman is someone who is wife material, but maybe not as modest. I feel like modesty is one who is scared, not scared, that's the wrong word, but who is timid to expose certain things of themselves, which um yeah, that's what I said, Gracie. For the hostage exchange for exchange of sex for money. That's what I said too. Um, yeah. So, and then we agree that 20 the front, 40 the back. So we agree on that. We disagree. We both disagree on the definition of a whore, and we agree that a good person is different than a modest person.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, these definitions are something that you know what I mean. Most of them are man made or they're derived, like I said, from religious or cultural standpoints. You know what I mean? They're not really derived from anything else. So if we're deriving it from that, you know what I mean, then of course, you know what I mean, it's us placing because when you're dealing with religion or you're dealing with cultural aspects, a lot of those aspects are going to come from a place of them defining and basically judging someone's character based on their actions and what they
Right.
say, right? So if you're basing it on that, then yeah, that's what somebody's gonna be defined as. You know what I mean? Now, if you fornicate, yes, it's not technically being, a complete whore, but it's whorish behavior. It's looked at as whorish and immoral behavior. That's what's looked at as. You know what I mean? By definition. You know what I mean? Should that definition be redefined? Of course. Should it change? Of course. Should we redefine a lot of definitions? Yes. You know what I mean? But that's something that we as society got to do. You know what I mean? And that's just really where it's at. But I know you do got to run, family.
I
Um,
feel that. I feel that. I appreciate those last remarks. Again, sorry guys, this one has to be a little short. Um, but I have to meet someone to give them something before they go somewhere. So catch us next week, 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern, and 9 a.m. Pacific. Thank you guys so much for joining and hearing out our brief conversation. And I will see you next time.
Lady, y'all. Peace. Much love.